Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Cover to Cover. You're here with Mo,
Andrea,
and Morgan.
Okay, so today we have a lot of great stories trending in the news right now, including ways that authors are introducing activism to children and other ways that activists are rebuilding libraries and spreading books all around the world. But first, we have another tale of a lost and found work. The late Maurice Sendak is well known for being one of the greatest picture book authors of the 20th century, and now his legacy will be extended even further. Lynn Caponera is the president of the Maurice Sendak Foundation, and she was recently going through some things, organizing, cleaning up, and she came across a never-before-seen or published manuscript written by Sendak and collaborator Arthur Eurinks. The manuscript is called Presto and Zesto in Limbo Land and has illustrations to accompany it.
The illustrations were originally for a London Symphony fundraiser, and Eurinks apparently liked them so much that he asked Sendak whether or not they could become a full-fledged story. Sendak agreed, and the collaboration began. The title comes from the authors' nicknames for one another. Sendak was Presto and Eurinks was Zesto, and the story is an homage to their friendship. The books will be out next year, so look out for future updates.
You guys, I'm so excited about this. I don't have any children, but if I did, this would be the next thing I'm purchasing for them. Because did you guys love Where the Wild Things Are?
Yeah, and I was actually reading a Bustle article on why it was so significant, and I pulled a couple of the things that they said about it. Some of the things that you can learn from Where the Wild Things Are, like don't judge someone or something based on his or her appearance. There's a wild thing in all of us, and that's okay. And also love with everything you've got. And I love that Sendak never really shied away from hard topics.
Yeah, I recently read that he made sure that his books were not all butterflies and rainbows and sunshine because he doesn't think it's real life. And a lot of things that come out of his books come from his own life experience. There was a baby kidnapping when he was a baby, and it's just very vivid in his mind. It just kind of haunted him for a long time. And I read another story that his family members, a lot of them died in concentration camps, and he remembers at his bar mitzvah learning about that. Like he saw it on his father's face that his father had bad news, and his father tried to keep the party going, but he later found out that most of his extended family had passed. And so these experiences, along with others, have really shaped his books, and I think that's why we love them so much.
Yeah.
And I think that his dark materials, they really speak to the way that there is darkness in the lives of children, whether you introduce it or not. It's still a part of the human existence, and not shying away from it and showing that there is like something good that you can pull out of it, or like an adventure that you can make of it, and like see the light at the end of the tunnel. It is so important.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Let us know what you think about this author and other authors like him, for sure.
Yeah.
Social activist Inosanto Nagara wanted to find a fun book about social justice that he could read to his 2-year-old. He wanted to find unique narratives told through an author's experience on life and society. He couldn't quite find what he was looking for, so he decided to write his own. A is for Activist features different social movements for every letter in the alphabet. Deborah Menkart is the executive director for Teaching for Change, an organization that has put together a social justice reading list for children, featuring A is for Activism. Stan Yogi is one of the featured artists on the list, and he says, we need to give kids credit. They have an innate sense of what's right and what's wrong. Being able to draw on that innate sense of justice through relatable stories is so important. So we'll link to this in our show comments, and what do you guys think about this kind of content for kids?
I think it goes right along with what we were just saying about Maurice Sendak.
Absolutely.
It's really important to give kids not all butterflies and rainbows, because that's life.
Yeah, I mean, I think as adults we kind of become desensitized to like what's right and what's wrong. I saw a video recently of this girl, and she was at the zoo and she was crying. I mean, she was crying. She's like, the animals are trapped. Like, the animals are trapped. And she saw it so clearly. It was black and white for her, and the parents, were like, okay, like maybe she's right, But we, as adults, like those things aren't as important to us, I guess, or maybe we see things differently. But kids, they see things as black and white, and we should definitely promote that.
I just wonder what age group he's going towards.
Right.
8-year-olds and up, 12-year-olds and up?
Well, so I guess since it's an alphabet book, he's gearing it towards like really young children, right? Because that's kind of like a kindergarten sort of.
Yeah.
A is for activists.
Yeah, true.
I can see some people struggling with this book, though.
For sure.
Yeah. But I guess they just won't buy it. Plain and simple.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, another author lives in Nova Scotia, and in Nova Scotia, there's a fun new bookstore for children of all ages that's getting a lot of press right now. It's called Mabel Merple's Bookshop and Dreamery. The shop is named after a character from the author's, and she's the owner, Sherry Fitch's children's book series. Fitch is hoping to use the store as a place to foster and inspire dreams and creativity, and hundreds of people came from all over the place for the grand opening of the bookstore, and all of the children are really loving the environment. Fitch hopes to host field trips, writing retreats, and many other events at her new shop, though this business will be seasonal. Her Labor of Love project is a side project because, of course, she's a writer full-time.
Very cool. That's a place I'd like to take a field trip to.
I know. The pictures looked really cool. It seems like a great place for kids to come in for the day and kind of just like explore all the cool like installations that she has. And then, of course, just like sit down and read a book.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I think part of why she did this is because going to the home of Anne of Green Gables as a child was very inspirational to her in writing. So I just love this, and
That's cool.
creating an environment. I mean, we can take our kids to any coffee shop, right? But they all have a different feel, a different environment. But creating a real space for kids and adults to dream and to write and imagine, I just love it. I think we need more of those, like different types of coffee shops. So maybe there's one, this is the one you go to if you are a tech person and you're doing work on your computer, and this is the one you go to have conversation, but this is the one you go to create.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, in 2014, ISIS took control of Mosul, Iraq. A battle has since been waging for the city to be retaken, and though they are getting close, the war rages on. During the initial attack, many buildings were lost, including the Central Library at the University of Mosul. Hundreds of thousands of texts were lost, including books in Arabic and English, books of maps, and ancient manuscripts. An anonymous blogger who goes by the name Mosul Eye has been chronicling life in Mosul since the takeover and has started a fundraiser to rebuild the library. He has since fled in 2016, but is committed to putting the city of Mosul back together. He was a professor at the university at the time of the attack and identifies himself as a historian. He was inspired by the community's dedication to preserving its history and text. After the library was destroyed, volunteers went in to recover whatever they could. Around 2,000 texts survived the destruction, and their collection is growing as people around the world have been sending in donations.
It's so great for the community to come together and try to make this happen in spite of all of the bad that's going on.
Absolutely.
So I feel like this person has really, I read that he had to move because, of course, he was under scrutiny and, of course, with all the terrorism and attacks that are happening. But in spite of all that, all he cares about is making this one thing happen. And that's a whole nother kind of activism and like communities coming together and people around the world donating books. It's just a really great cause to donate to. So you should do that.
Could you imagine a world where you didn't have access to books or libraries?
No.
It's just heartbreaking. So I love this story.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, ladies, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to have an update on the Book Fairy Project and some other awesome ways to celebrate literature. So we'll be right back.
Project, which has been running in London since 2012 and is now in 26 countries. Well, a book babe in India took the inspiration and created another version of the project for the Delhi Metro. This is to ensure passengers that they can feel the magic of literature. Shruti Sharma was inspired by Emma Watson and other book fairies, so she contacted Books on the Move Global and asked if they could help create the same thing in Delhi. They agreed, of course, and Sharma has been organizing since then. You can follow Books on the Delhi Metro on social media and stay up to date, and check out Books on the Move to see more about the growing movement.
So this movement is so cool, and I did go to that website. In any city that has sort of a metro sort of rail system, they want you to do this. So if it's not in your city already, you can go to that website and check it out. If it's not, you should suggest it, and then you could be in charge of it, which is such a cool thing to do. That's what this lady did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so awesome. And I'm looking forward to, in decades to come, like all of these sociology projects of how this spread and how literature grew throughout the world.
Yeah.
This one's really, it's harder for me to imagine. I've been to India, I've been to Delhi, and it is packed. It is crowded. And so to find something so small, a book, it just seems, I think it will really touch someone's day, make their day better. But I also imagine there's a lot of street children in India, and by chance they might be able to find a book and be able to read it. I don't know. That really touches me.
Yeah, sounds
That's
like
really
they
cool.
need more people to put more books out.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to be mostly Indian authors or a mixture of everything.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I'm sure they'll do some of the like normal bestsellers, but then they'll probably dedicate some stuff specifically to their country.
It's just crazy that it's going all over the world. And with technology now, like, have you guys heard of like geocaching or
Yeah.
geocaching, where like you drop a pin and then you can like leave a surprise. So people are surely doing that with literature now, which is super cool.
I did that in college a lot because there was a bunch of points around our campus, and so you could go and find a thing, and you take a thing and you leave a thing,
That's
so
awesome.
that there's something else
Yeah.
for someone else. Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, from book clubs to immersive theme parks and conventions, Harry Potter fans have no shortage of ways to celebrate their Harry Potter love. And coming this summer, there is one more avenue to do so in London. The Covert Gardens, the library, has created a Harry Potter supper club where you can dine in for a 7-course Harry Potter experience every Friday and Saturday through August and September. Fans are invited to dine in and dress up. The cost is £55 to £65 per person and promises to be a delectable and immersive experience.
So, conspiracy theory here. Harry Potter is spreading everywhere. So even when we're talking about the whole book fairy thing, who's linked to that? Emma Watson, Hermione. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Harry Potter has taken over the world, and it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. It is very saturated, but at the same time, I'm already like, how can I get to this by August and September? It's only in London, and I need to give them my money. So
You know what I imagine, though? Have either one of you ever been to the Dixie Stampede?
no.
What? She's like, you obviously have been to the Dixie Stampede. Like, everyone's
I
been.
thought everyone's been to the Dixie Stampede.
Tell us more.
No, it's one of those dining experiences where you watch a show. So there's one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. There's one in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, outside of Gatlinburg. I'm sure there's other ones, but it's north versus south. You eat with your hands, and then you have a show in front of you. I imagine something like this opening up for Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like an interactive dinner theater
Yes.
experience. Yeah. I will also give my money for that. Thank you.
If no one's opened it, we just gave someone a great idea.
Someone started GoFundMe. Come on.
Let's open
I
this
would
thing
support
up.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Well, if any of you out there watching have gone to this Harry Potter Supper Club, be sure to post your pictures, bring your favorite Harry Potter book, snap the photo in the venue, because we would love to see it. And post it on Instagram, and you can hashtag it Bookstagram.
Hashtag Bookstagram refers to a community of book lovers searching out and adding content to the platform. Using hashtags is, of course, a great way to search in a community of people who post. Some of the biggest Bookstagram hashtags out there right now are hashtag BooksActually and hashtag Reading for Fun, which literally can be good beach reads, good book recommendations, or people just showing off a massive book endeavor they've undertaken. Hashtag Reading Buddy is a big one right now too, and will yield lots of results featuring adorable pets who hang out with you while you read, which is amazing. And of course, using hashtag Bookstagram can help sum up all of your book-related posts. Do you guys Instagram, and are these hashtags helpful?
I do Instagram. Instagram is my favorite social media, and I do use hashtags, and I'm definitely going to be hashtagging Reading Buddies because my dog is always hanging out with me while I read. So.
That's sweet.
I am a little new to Instagram. I finally decided it's time for me to jump on the bandwagon. And so I mostly post things on my dog. So maybe I should hashtag Reading Buddies.
You
but
should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still kind of new to me. So
You'll get there, girl.
I'll get there.
I really like the hashtag Reading for Fun one because it can just be like a book you're actually reading for fun, or when it is just like an enormous book, like Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. It's like pictures of people being like, "Ooh," they're scared because it's so enormous. Hashtag reading for fun.
That's funny. I love how because Instagram's all about promoting your beautiful honeymoon and your beautiful wedding and your beautiful life and your perfect things, and then it's like people just like massive bragging rights on their library. I would love that.
Well, and Instagram's a really cool platform because you can completely curate your feed to just be what you want. So you can like follow bookstores, or you can follow the Book Fairy Project or Deli on the Metro, stuff that's inspiring for you. And so that's why it's my favorite platform, but I'm definitely going to be bookstagramming some more in the near future.
Well, if you are on Instagram or here on Facebook, don't forget to share some of your favorite book experiences with us and let us know what some of your favorite hashtags are. But right now, ladies, it's time for our favorite person to give us a recommendation. So we're going to see what Tiffany has been reading over the weekend. So Tiffany, what's on your nightstand?
Good morning, everyone. I've got a new book for your nightstand. It's called Fever Dream. It's by an Argentinian author who's now living in Berlin. She's won several awards, and she's definitely one that you're going to want to check out. So if you like any of the books on Oprah's book club, you're definitely going to love Fever Dream. It's cinematic, it's impressionistic, and the New Yorker calls it a sick thrill, which it really is in a lot of ways because it's about this fever dream that the main character is having. The whole book is written in conversation just between two people, Amanda and David. They're unrelated, and it's just this crescendo of unease. So there's a lot of intrigue in it. Again, you can do it in one sitting. And I'm curious, why do we read these books that are just plague us with these internal questions? So if you've got some sad books or some interesting books or some things like that you're reading, let me know in the comments below. I want to check them out. I feel more like I've been to a museum than maybe sitting in my library reading. So check out Fever Dream. Get it for 99 cents, this awesome, beautiful hardcover book, and maybe put a new author in your reading list. Good morning, everyone.
Thanks, Tiffany. It's always nice to have that one friend that reads everything so that they can tell you how to prioritize your book list. So, Tiffany, we appreciate you. Thank you. And speaking of books that we love, Bloomsbury Auctions will be hosting an auction online July 27th that will feature rare books and works of paper, including photographs and autographs. One of the most notable auction items will be a first edition Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which includes the original pictorial board and has a few typos within. And with the 20th anniversary just passing, it's sure to attract lots of very high bidders. So what do you guys think about these really pricey first editions and collectors and stuff like that? Is it just like too much money, and what's the point?
No, I think they're awesome. I mean, if you're a huge fan, then yeah, it's totally worth it.
Too much money for me. Yep, not worth it.
I'm like really torn about it because, if I were, say, to have $30,000 of disposable income, sure, maybe I would spend that on a first edition book. But as a human who's normal and does not have that, it does seem like kind of insane.
Or you could take that $30,000, buy a ton of Harry Potter books for the book fairies to hand out.
When you put it that way,
yeah.
Shoot.
Well, in the very near future, when I do have $30,000, those will be choices I will have to make. But I think I secretly dream of having a really epic book collection and having these kinds of things.
Of course.
But yeah, when the time comes to do it, I don't know if I could spend $30,000 on like one thing.
Do you think you would put it in a glass shelf so nothing can ever happen? No one can spill coffee on it. Dust can't get all over it. I mean,
do you know what is the cost for the auction?
The cause? Yeah. It's for money. I don't think it's a fundraiser. It's just people auctioning off their goods. With Bloomsbury Auctions, they have like a bunch of things they're always auctioning, but I could be wrong.
Well, I have lots of writing
that you would like to auction off.
I will auction them off with their typos and all.
Yeah.
I have some different graduate thesis work. I've had some fun things I've written, posts and things like that.
I've got some photographs I don't need anymore. So
I will auction off these earrings. I've worn them 60 times.
Yeah.
And we will take the money and buy us more books.
That seems like a really fair trade-off, honestly.
And we'll give some to the book fairies.
Yeah, of course.
Well, let us know in the comments if you think rare books are crazy expensive and not worth it, kind of like me, sorry, or if you are currently saving all of your money to buy the first edition Harry Potter. As always, share this post and send us a message for a free t-shirt. Tell us your size and your style and your mailing address. We have both a V-neck option and a crew neck option available, so just let us know.
And don't forget about that flash sale. For 19 minutes after this episode, you can get your copy of this book that Tiffany told you about. So grab your copy for 99 cents.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We hope you have an excellent week. I'm Mo.
I'm Andrea.
And I'm Morgan.
And we will be back Wednesday, July 12th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central Time. Until then, keep reading, writing, and being awesome. I know we will. Bye.
Bye.